Hey folks, André here with Long & McQuade. Today we are taking a look at Universal Audio's Apollo Generation 2 audio interfaces. We've got great hardware and software upgrades that we're going to be talking about, so stick around and let's dive right into it. Okay, let's talk about the X8P first, which is the rack unit I have behind me. This is a rack-mounted Thunderbolt 3 audio interface with elite class audio conversion, 8 Unison preamps, hexacore DSP for real-time UAD plugin processing. This unit also includes powerful expandability via optical and DB25 I/O, along with Thunderbolt daisy chaining capabilities. For those of you who are familiar with the Apollo line and Universal Audio's world-class quality of recording gear, they've just stepped it up another level. So let's start with the elite class AD and DA conversion. That's analog to digital and digital to analog conversion. UA has best in class when it comes to this, and it really shines through when you're listening back on your headphones, listening back on your studio monitors, and when you hear your mix in the box. I mean, when you're recording a live amplifier or live drums, that analog to digital conversion is just absolutely untouchable in the market. And yeah, the playback digital to analog is pristine. You're not going to find better quality out there on the market. Let's talk about UA's Unison mic preamp emulation. This works between the hardware, the software, and the UAD plugins. So let's say I'm running into line 1. Well, we've got these Universal Audio preamps in the hardware that work in tandem with Unison in either Luna or in console. Luna is the DAW, console is your controller. Okay, I'm in console here, and if I want to run a preamp via Unison, I just click the button here, go to my left, and my preamp. So I'm running an API preamp, set it however I want, and we're good to go. So you're running in real time, seamlessly, and with lossless information coming back through the monitor. Let's also talk about the enhanced headphone amplifiers. Significantly improved headphone outputs offer higher gain and better signal to noise for detail monitoring. There's also much less harmonic distortion, another upgrade that Universal Audio has put forth. Now let's look at assistive audio gain. I set this up just before I got this session going for this microphone here. So when you're in console, as you can see here, you click auto gain, and you have a choice while listening or after listening. It gives you 10 seconds. So what I'm doing here, check, sound check. This will be essentially calibrating my input gain, and it'll be set for the session. So in about 3, 2, 1. So as you can see here, auto gain has been applied. No more peaks, no more blow-ups on the mic. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, I'm here with Drew Mazurek from UA in California. We're gonna dive into some questions about the Apollo Gen 2s. How's it going, Drew?
Great to be with you. Good to see you, André.
Yeah, good to see you. Okay, so we got a few questions here. Can you tell us a little bit about the Apollo line, when they were first introduced, and what made them unique?
So the original Apollo came out in 2012. And what made them really unique was, of course, the onboard DSP that was capable of running our plugins at low latency. At that time, when you needed to punch into a finished mix, by that point, your buffer was set to 1024 or 2048, and therefore the latency was really bad. So in order to track at low latency into a finished mix through a world-class chain, having those DSPs on the Apollo was a game changer. If you look on the original introduction thread, it's actually one of the largest threads in forum history. Pretty interesting there. So yeah, that was in 2012. Prior to 2012, we had this amazing reputation for plugins, right? We did the best plugins. We still think we make the best plugins to this day. And so getting them to run on your interface on DSP at low latency was a game changer, as I said. And then 2 years later, we came out with the Apollo Twin, right? So this created the portable form factor that, we are infamous for, and the Twin's been a really great product for us. So those two products really cemented the Apollo's reputation and utility in the industry.
Yeah, very nice. And I, as a guy who has mixed in the box my whole career, getting introduced to the Apollo line, the rack units, and running the UAD plugins in real time, no latency or next to no latency, absolute game changer. And you're right. I mean, running these heavy plugins, these heavy RAM plugins, it doesn't affect your session. And I've been slowed down by RAM problems in the past, and it's revolutionary. It's amazing. Okay, we'll get into some more questions here. What can customers expect from the new Apollo line, the Gen 2s?
So with the new Gen 2 Apollos, we wanted to just continue with the success that we had with the previous ones. So we did do a new faceplate, a new industrial design, which was made them slicker and look a little bit more modern. And then we wanted to up the conversion game. So in the Apollo world, the X16 has always been the granddaddy with the best conversion. And with Gen 2s, we wanted to bring everybody as close to that level as we possibly could. So X16 is still he's still the king, the king of the hill, so to speak. But we did bring the Twins, X4, and the other rack units up to being very close to them to create as much parity on the platform as we possibly could. And then we wanted to add some really cool stuff like Apollo Monitor Control, right? Which is our partnership with Sonarworks that brings their technology onto your Apollo, running in DSP using our filters at low latency. It's very much a set and forget sort of correction workflow. And with the Gen 2s, auto gain, right? So this is really great for people recording themselves where they can just click a button, play their instrument, sing, whatever, and the Apollo does the work, making sure that they've got optimum levels set for them.
Right. No, that's excellent. How does the addition of the Apollo X16D Dante tie in with the rest of the Apollo line?
So with the introduction of the X16D, we wanted to bring Dante into the Apollo line. And this has really great workflows in live sound in conjunction with live sound consoles, but it also can work in the studio. For example, our good friend Fab DuPont has a studio in New York City called Flux Studios, and he has X16Ds in every control room. And now that we've launched the Apollo E series, we have the E1X, which is the little mic preamp, and then a PM, a personal monitor, which can be used in any Dante network, but they're especially cool when partnered with the X16D, especially the E1X, because it becomes a Unison preamp that uses the DSP on the X16D. So this is a new area for us, and we're really happy to bring that to our users.
Cool. That covers my next question, which was applications. So yeah, that's excellent. Yeah. So with Universal Audio making plugins that do not require DSP, how important is the need for DSP with the Apollo line?
So about 3 years ago, we did bring out those native plugins, and we wanted to complement the existing DSP ecosystem and architecture, and we wanted our users to be able to increase the flexibility of their rigs. We have these really powerful CPUs these days, and the native plugins allow users to harness those CPUs. But so, DSP still has its place. All of the things I talked about earlier, the problems that we solved in 2012 and 2014 with the original Apollos, they're still pertinent today. So yeah, maybe you'll need less DSP, but DSP's utility has not changed at all, and it's still the backbone of our ecosystem and will remain so for years to come.
Can you explain the role DSP plays in regards to the Unison technology?
Yeah, sure. So Unison is sort of the marriage of the hardware, the DSP, and the software. The idea was to take the guesswork out of things, right? So when you have a mic preamp emulation or an amp sim, and you plug your mic or your guitar into your interface, without Unison, you're sort of guessing at the gain staging that is necessary. But Unison is a marriage of that hardware and software, and it takes the guesswork out of it. So we've modeled the coloration. We also have impedance matching, and we've mimicked the gain staging. So there's no guesswork. When you plug a mic in to a mic pre and you choose a 1073 preamp, the impedance is matched, and that interaction is done at a very deep level, and it ensures that you are modeling the hardware at the right gain staging, coloration at various gain stages, and the impedance. So they're kind of a marriage made in heaven.
Yeah, I had lots of fun using the gear. Thanks for answering the questions, and thanks a lot, Drew. That was Drew from UA in California answering some pertinent questions about the new Gen 2 Apollos. And yeah, it's been great talking to you.
Really great talking with you today, Andre. I'll see you next time.
And we will see you on the flip side. Okay, let's talk about the Apollo Twin X Duo. This is a desktop Thunderbolt 3 interface with elite class audio conversion, 2 Unison preamps, and dual-core DSP for real-time UAD plugin processing and world-class sound. It works incredible in tandem with the X8P as your main controller, volume monitoring, you can do talkback, tons of features, and if you're tracking, you can use the high-Z input, or you can use the XLR inputs on the back, which have Unison, tons of great features, and it's portable. So want to take it to a jam, you want to take it remotely to record, you've got that option as well. So yeah, it comes with the same upgrades as the X8P. We've got Apollo monitor correction by Sonarworks. So now you can import Sonarworks profiles directly into Apollo DSP for real-time accurate room and headphone calibration. The new Apollos also come with subwoofer bass management. So this is integrated controls in console for precise low-end management with a subwoofer that is added to your environment. As you can see, I've got the Twin X Duo here running on the desktop, and I'm going to hop into the session and show you guys what we recorded. I used the 6176 preamp and compressor hardware for the bass, and that turned out absolutely fantastic. Everything else was recorded straight into the Apollo X8P. All vocals were recorded on this Universal Audio Bach 187. I used 2 live amps, and I used 1 DI guitar with the Dream 65 plugin. We've got the Dream 65 on the DI guitar, and I will tell you, it sounds absolutely smoking. Galaxy tape echo that I put on the Marshall amp, and the Marshall amp was live. That's a live Marshall amp, and here's the sound of the Vox. So on the Vox I used the Neve 1073 EQ, and yeah, it sounds garagey and nasty. That was the whole idea. So here's the 3 guitars together. There's your 3 guitars. I think they sound beautifully heavy. There's the bass and drums. As you can hear, the bass comes through really nice and punchy through that 6176. And let's see, for plugins, just have the Neve 1073 on the kick, snare, and on the bass. Kept that really simple. Didn't even use compression, actually. Now checking out the vocals, I have 5 vocals going on here. 3 main vocal tracks, and then 2 harmonies. Who is in control, my only So for example, here, I used the Lion plugin. All the vocals together. And for the harmonies, I didn't want as much distortion. So I used the Manley microphone pre and kind of pinned it to get a bit of distortion there. Absolutely perfect plugins here. That about does it for the Universal Audio Apollo Gen 2 audio interfaces. I had a great time bringing this video to you. Don't forget to like and subscribe at our channel. Really helps out our content. And click the links in the description below for more information on these products. And we'll see you in the next video.